Mental Health Mondays ignite the spark. Hope guides each step, even in the dark. New week, new dreams to see. Hope's the key to what's meant to be.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy holidays. Welcome to Mental Health Mondays with Hope. I am Hope. And tonight we're going to talk about goal setting because, we're getting toward the end of the year. There's only a few days left in 2025. And this is the time where a lot of people decide that they're going to jump on that resolution bandwagon. But we're going to take a smart approach to goal setting. And I have a great guest tonight, and we're going to work on some goals. So let's say hi to Mary.
Hi,
Hi,
Hope.
Mary. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Sounds like your voice is a little raspy. Is it just that
Yeah.
sexy singing voice you have?
No, I've been sick for like 2.5 weeks.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I hope you feel better. It does sound a little icky, so I hope you're taking care of you.
Yes, I am.
Good, good. So I always like to start my shows with a positive affirmation with my guest. So I am what, Mary? Say it. I am
willing to grow.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. What a great affirmation, especially as we're here at the end of the year, going into the new year, 2026, the year of the fire horse. So tell me, Miss Firehorse, let's tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Mary. I am in recovery from alcoholism and drug addiction. I actually just picked up my 6-month coin. Thank you. On Friday.
Congratulations.
I have been in a locked ward 3 times in my life.
Now, meaning that, does that mean like a psychiatric locked ward or a rehab locked ward?
Psychiatric.
Okay.
Yep. This is my first time going to rehab and doing all that. I live in a sober house now. And I'm doing really well. I think.
I think you are. I think you are also. Is there anything else about you that you'd like to share with everyone?
Well, I am going through trauma therapy. I am taking my meds as prescribed. That's a big deal for me.
Sure. I absolutely, for a lot of people also.
I when I start to feel better, I start to think I don't need these meds, and then I stop taking them, and then I go off the rails. So
Right. And acknowledging that, because that is very common when people start to feel better, and acknowledging that and understanding that you do that is a great insight.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing all of that very personal information with us. And when it started coming to the end of the year, and I thought, how people make these New Year's resolutions, I always think of like the stereotypical one of, oh, I'm going to get in shape or lose weight. And, all these people join the gym in the month of January, the gyms are packed, and then they start to fade away, fade away, fade away. And I feel that it's the use of the word resolution, and it's just like they're just kind of throwing it out there. Yeah, I want to lose the weight. Oh, I'll go to the gym. Whereas they don't make specific goals necessarily, and they don't necessarily make a smart plan to follow those goals.
I'm so excited to see exactly what you mean by that, because I did do my homework.
See? I know I kind of left you in the dark a little bit, just so everyone knows, is that I did give Mary a homework assignment, but I didn't give her everything that we're going to be working on. And I am jumping ahead a little bit, but I'm going to say this again later. If you're on here and you want to work on goal setting and sticking with your goals, I am going to start an email group. I just figured email because people can keep anonymity if they want to. And we'll put a group together and, we can share things that way. I can share, more information with everyone to kind of help keep them on track. And my email is very simple, mental health Mondays with hope at gmail.com. So if anyone wants to join that group, you can go ahead, mental health Mondays with hope.com. So, and I did ask Mary. So anyone that's watching too, I hope you have a notebook and a pen or a pencil. And I know, like, when I promoted this, I wrote pencil because I thought pencil, you can erase things and then rewrite it. And I was just only thinking of the construct of being neat. But the more I thought about it, preparing this program for tonight, the more I thought that goals aren't always necessarily neat. And maybe striking through something or, adding on to things or taking one word out or changing time frames. I feel now, after I've come up with this program, of using a pen and striking that out shows your growth. So if you choose pencil because you're neat, then that's great. But if people want to use pen and they don't care if it looks messy, because life is messy. So
right.
Absolutely. As we get started, I actually have your first in session assignment for you. And you can take, and you don't have to make it complete. We'll just do a couple things. So one of the things that I recommend for everyone is doing everything on its own sheet of paper and getting a binder and putting it in a binder, because with a binder, you can grow. You can add more pages and you can grow, and you don't have to flip through the notebook. If you write something, you can put it in the place with the specific goal or what have you, whatever section you want to put it in. So here is the first one. And please, I hope you don't feel pressure. I have this saying on a plaque in my dining room that says, your vibe attracts your tribe. So I would like your first assignment, and anyone that's watching, if you would like to do this, write on the top of your sheet of your paper, my vibe. And what I want you to do after you write my vibe is write a couple things about you. Like, who are you? What is your vibe? And even if it's not all positive, I love the show Scorpion. I'm weird. I love all those geniuses. Yeah. And Happy Quinn on that show, she's just mean all the time. So her vibe would probably say mean. So, write a few things about your vibe, or at least leave that to the top, and, you can work more on that later. Now, at the bottom of that sheet, write what I want my vibe to be. So if there are some things about your vibe or your personality that you want to work on, that's where you would put it. I want to see the positivity of things more. I want to be more positive, or I'm just kind of throwing things out there. So this is going to go along with your vibe attracts your tribe. I'll give you a second. Yeah. See, like I said, there's no rush. You can just write a few things, because I know, and you need to sleep, because don't be sitting with this later and be like, oh, I want to work on this. You need to get your proper sleep. Now, next sheet is, who is my tribe? Just put my tribe. And then what this is who are your people? Who's your family? Who's your tribe? And this is all brainstorming. I don't want people to overthink it. That's why I'm putting this all out there the way I am before I start explaining these SMART goals that we're going to keep. So, who's your tribe? And now, and then you can add to that, but I don't want you to be like, oh, well, my Aunt Mary is, Mary, sorry. I always go to Mary and Sue is my tribe, sort of, kind of, but she lives far away. Don't qualify. Whoever pops into your head, who's your tribe, that's what we want to put on this sheet. Now, the next sheet will be qualities I want my tribe to have. or however you want to word that. I didn't come up with anything shorter yet. How I want my tribe to be. And without thinking of other people, maybe I should reverse this when I have other people do it and ask people, well, I don't know. This was like 50-50. So what are the qualities? What are the characteristics that you want the members of your tribe to have? And that would be that sheet. And leave some space, like maybe leave 2 lines in between. You might want to rewrite this, later. I'm going to actually, whoever joins the email group at mental health Mondays with Hope at gmail.com, I'm going to email this to everyone so you can kind of have your guide on doing this. So the exercise with your tribe, we're not going to do that right now. The exercise for your tribe would be then, let's say I want my tribe to be compassionate. So then look at your tribe and look at all the people that are on your list for your tribe and say, okay, well, I think, my aunt is compassionate. I think, my friend Joe is compassionate. And you might skip your friend Amy because, maybe she's not the most compassionate. Maybe she's selfish, but she's still your friend and you love her. So as you go down this list with all of these qualities that you want to see in your tribe, you'll see patterns of the people that possess the most qualities. And then I'm not saying you discount the other members of your tribe, but what I'm saying with this exercise is you'll see the people that you can rely on for very specific things. I'm going through a tough time. I need compassion. I'm going to, talk to these people. Hey, I don't, know if what I want to do is the right idea, if it's right for me. I know these people are always brutally honest with me. So, you'll know who you can rely on in what situation to kind of help you through things. So that's our tribe. That's our tribe. I'm kind of all over the place because I wrote things and then I changed the order. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the goals. And what I did with Mary, which is what I would do with everyone, is I gave her 5 categories of goals. And the first one was personal goals. And that was anything for personal growth and development. So again, if you're following along, goals. So personal should have its own sheet. And then anything for personal growth and development. The next goal is financial. So that would be, anything you would like to achieve financially in 2026. And I asked Mary to rate like 1 to 3, but and that was only just to, talk about this on the podcast. The next one is relationships. So that would be the 3rd page in your goals section. So that's family, friends, partner, your coworkers, anyone that you have a relationship with or you want to have a relationship with. Maybe you want a relationship. So that's where you would put those goals. The 4th one, is that the 4th? 1, 2, 3, 4 is professional. So where do you want to be in your professional life in 2026? So that would be the 4th sheet under goals. And then the last sheet is spiritual. And this could be faith, meditation, self-reflection, anything that you view as spiritual. And when you write the individual goals on your goal sheet, then leave some space in between because you're going to write, you're going to keep some notes on your goals. So is there one goal in particular that maybe for the personal, is there one goal in particular that you wanted to share, that you're comfortable sharing, or whichever category you choose to share?
Sure.
Okay.
For personal, I have continue daily inventory and turning my thoughts and emotions over to a loving, caring higher power.
Wow. Okay. So that would fall under personal and spiritual, right?
Yeah,
So,
actually.
and you'll see, because again, we're doing smart goal setting. So you'll see how one goal can play into another goal, or how the outcome of one goal can affect another goal. So that's a great one. That's a great one. Are there any, and if that's the one that you want to use, well, let's go. Is there another one you want to share? Is there a financial one or that you want to share? Again, like I said,
Sure.
whatever you're comfortable with.
Financial, I need to claim bankruptcy and include my student loans.
Okay. I'm not sure if you can do student loans with bankruptcy. Did you talk to somebody? Okay, cool. All right,
Okay.
cool. You go, girl. See that? You're already smart goal setting and you didn't even know it. And anything, what about relationship?
For this one, I want to maintain and bolster current close friendships.
Oh, that's great. That's great. These are wonderful, wonderful, thoughtful, very thought out goals. How about professional?
I would like to find an office job that pays well that I could walk to.
Oh, good.
'Cause
Very good.
I'm on foot right now.
Right, right.
Um, and I would like to go back to school to become a nurse.
Oh, excellent. 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 That's great. Wonderful. And the last one is spiritual.
Um, what about health?
Oh, did I skip that? I did. I'm sorry. Yes,
No, that's
health.
okay.
I apologize.
Um,
Yes. Health and wellness. So that could be physical health, that could be mental health. Yes, sorry about that.
continue and try to calm my bad belly issues without the use of Imodium 3 to 5 times a week. They can't figure out what's wrong with my stomach besides irritable bowel. That's all
Right,
they say.
right. Okay. Okay. So it looks like you're being proactive.
Yeah. And then to continue with meds and trauma therapy.
Okay. That's great. That is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, these are great. You really put some time into this already. You know, you really put some time into it, and before we're even getting to the smart part.
Mm,
So this term smart, it's the smart technique when we're setting goals. And this is actually a business model, you know, initially. And it can also relate to like personal and interpersonal goals. So what SMART stands for, and then this will be, and you can write this down, and then the SMART technique. So the S, and if you want to do it like down like this, you know, down the sheet, SMART. So the S is for specific, and maybe leave a little, you know, yes. So what will be accomplished and what actions will you take? It's the difference between saying, oh, I want to lose weight. That's, you know, not very specific. That's very broad. That's like the people that go to the gym because, oh, I want to get in shape in 2026 versus I want to lose 20 pounds. That's more specific. So that's the S part of SMART. And then the M is measurable. So what data will measure the goal? So I'm going to just stay with this because I wrote it as an example, and we'll go back to one of your goals. So if I wanted to lose the 20 pounds, obviously data would be, you know, I'd step on the scale every 2 weeks. Please, ladies and gents, don't step on the scale every week. It's not a good idea. Every 2 weeks to a month. And then the A in SMART is achievable. Is this goal doable? Do you have the necessary skills and resources to accomplish this goal? I mean, obviously, for the S and the M, I use the weight loss. For the A, I thought of, you know, world peace. I know everybody says, what do you want? I want world peace. So I feel that, you know, that may not be achievable with one individual's skill set, but then again, don't say that to like Gandhi, you know, but I'm just using that as the example. That's very, very big. And then the R is relevant. How does this goal align with my broader goals? How does this goal align with who I am, where I want to be? And why is the result important? So that's relevant. And then the T is time bound. What's the time frame for accomplishing this goal? If you want to lose 20 pounds, but you say, I want to lose it in a month and a half, that's not very healthy. And chances are it's not going to stay off, and you're going to work yourself like crazy, and then you may quit. Saying I would like to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, now we're looking at a better time frame, or a more manageable time frame. Sometimes you got to do things on a time crunch, but then you're looking at a more manageable time frame, and then you can actually break that down into, monthly goals, a halfway point goal. So when we go back to specific, because I want to give like a little bit more education before we start breaking, like actually we're going to make your goals SMART, whichever one or ones you would like to use. When we're talking about specific, and when we want to be specific about a goal, it's the W's. Who needs to be involved? So if this is, for example, you said about the bankruptcy. Well, it's more than you that needs to be involved. You might need an attorney, so who needs to be involved in this goal? And then what specifically? Now we're getting into the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts, where you literally break it down bit by bit. And that's why we use a binder. So you have lots of room, because some goals might require less steps than other goals. And then again, it's the when, what's the general time frame? Not say, oh, this year I want to do this. Come up with a time frame, and that could include a lot of factors. So one that doesn't maybe to always come up is the where. And because if a lot of times we're talking about personal goals, so that where might not come up as much. Now, let's say you said, I want to get an office job, but I'm really tired of the winter, so I'd like to get an office job in Arizona. Now you have a where. And then we have the which ties in WHICH. Sorry. It's Yule and solstice and all that. My humor. So the which, this determines the obstacles. Like, what are the obstacles or requirements? And that will help decide whether it's realistic, that are in the SMART. And then the why. The why in everything we do in life is the big factor. Like, why do we do everything that we do? And we always have to count on the why. One of the things, because we're going to look at, at least one of your goals is the M for measurable. What metrics will you use? Clearly, if you're going to, you want to lose weight, you're going to use the scale as a metric. You're going to say, all right, I want to lose 20 pounds in, a year. And then you divide it by 12. And, so you have, a very measurable sets of goals. You can measure the results. And then you can determine if you're meeting your goal, if you're close to your goal. Always setting milestones is really important, because sometimes a goal can be daunting. So giving yourself milestones, it's not A and then Z. There are 24 letters in between. So setting milestones is really important. And that's, again, when I was thinking about the milestones, that's when I thought, writing it in pen and maybe crossing things out will show that, we're growing and we're expanding our knowledge and expanding our, our thought process when it comes to planning our goals. And then with the achievable, how will you accomplish this? Do you have the necessary tools? And if not, are they attainable? So one of the goals that you said was going to nursing school. So obviously, let's say that you didn't graduate high school. Or someone doesn't graduate high school, but they want to go to nursing school. One example that I read was somebody wanted to open up their bakery, but they've never baked before. So clearly there are steps that, are in between. So with going to nursing school, it would have to be, obviously someone has to have graduated high school. They have to apply to the school. You have to make sure that you have either the finances or the financial aid available. There we go. Sorry. And relevant. Again, how does this make sense in your life or your situation? And then the time bound this is where most resolutions fail, or even goals, is that it's just kind of throw it out there in the universe without putting some definition to it. You know, I'm going to lose 20 pounds in 6 months, and here's how I'm going to get there. Overwhelmed yet?
No.
Oh, good, good. Don't be, because again, for you and for everybody else, I am starting this email group, and it is mental health Mondays with Hope at gmail.com. So you want to grab another sheet of paper and write one of your goals at the top. And I know Mary is on a time crunch today. I'm just letting you know that it is 6:33, so we do have some time. So that's great. We do not have to rush. So put one of your goals on a sheet. And then we know what SMART stands for now. So just put your, maybe leave a couple lines in between and put the SMART down the page.
Let's tackle the financial one.
Okay. Let's go ahead and refresh my memory.
Claim bankruptcy includes student loans.
Okay. All right. So that was very specific. So that's good. So, and then something to put in there. I mean, that's very specific. So you can even rewrite that entire goal under the S line. It's so what will be accomplished, and then also what actions will you take. So even rewriting that entire goal, and then so what actions do you need to take to complete that?
I do have to obtain a lawyer.
Okay, so go ahead and write that underneath. You can bullet point it. Lawyer. Have you researched bankruptcy online? Because that's always a good start. That way you have better. Yeah, good. Okay. So and still write it, even though you've done it already, because then you might want to go back to it and do a little more, or when you feel that you've fully exhausted that bullet point, you can cross it out and feel accomplished. Okay, so specific is an attorney, looking it up online. Is there a fee for filing for bankruptcy?
I believe so. Yes.
So that could potentially be an obstacle, or so I would put under specific, how much does it cost? Like, what is the cost, or research the cost of filing bankruptcy. Then that way you have all of that. And then how will I where's that money coming from, basically? That would be part of it. Again, that could be part of the which, determining the obstacles, and is the financial aspect of it. And then also, I mean, that will fall into the time frame as well. But the when, for like when we're doing the S, is what is your time frame? Like, what is your goal to have this completed by?
I would like to have it done in the next 6 months.
Okay. So go ahead and just write June. And then when you do that, so like, then it's like a timeline. It's like, because we're not counting these last couple of days of December. So then you have January through the end of June, and you can, break down the goals into bits. And then if it's a financial aspect, once you find out how much the cost is, that's 6 months. Let's just say it's $600, because I'm not a math person. So then it's okay. That's $100 a month that I have to put aside, so I can pay that final bill to the lawyer in June to get my bankruptcy. And then, two other things, if we're being specific, is what's your why?
So that I can rebuild my credit history, start from the ground up.
Right. So, and that's great. I would definitely put that under specific. That, one of the reasons, that you're filing for bankruptcy is a fresh start financially. Build credit. These are very measurable. You're not like fluffy, flowery words. These are very measurable. If your credit score is, I don't know, 500, 400, whatever. Let's say your credit score is 400 right now, and 3 months after the bankruptcy, your credit score is up to 500 or 550. Well, that's a measurable outcome. That's a measurable outcome. All right. So is there any more specifics you can think for that goal?
No, I think that's pretty specific.
Yeah, I agree. Your goal itself was very specific. So that's tremendous. You're doing great. Okay. So the next is your measurable. How are you going to measure? How are you going to measure this? Like that you're on track to attaining this goal?
Well, I have like credit, what do you call it? I have like credit notifications. When my credit score goes up or goes down, I get an email.
Okay. So measurable by, I would write Scredit. Scredit. You like that? I'm still having effects of the concussion, by the way. It's crazy. Credit score notifications. But and let's break it down over the 6-month period of time that you want to complete this in 6 months. So maybe, part of that goal for measurable can be, contact attorney by end of January. And then, that gives you, start saving money by my X pay in X month. Like whether you want to start, you don't know how much it's going to cost right now. So I think for that goal, finding out how much it's going to cost to file is probably like one of the biggest obstacles at this point in general, because it's an unknown. It's a complete unknown. Like if you're doing a goal that's very personal just for yourself, it's known because you're the expert of you. But now you need to get somebody else involved, somebody else involved. So I feel that the biggest piece of that puzzle is knowing how much it's going to cost. And then that way you can say, I will be able to save X dollars every month until I need to pay this off. Does that make sense?
For some reason, yes. For some reason, the number 400 keeps going across the frontal lobe of my brain.
Okay.
I feel like that's the fee that I came across when I was researching.
Right. So, like I said, math isn't my thing. 400 divided by 6. Oh, it's $66.6666667. So hopefully it's $395. Now we are getting close to the 5:45 time, just so you know. 6:45. See my brain. Okay, now here's the really important one. Is this achievable?
I think so.
Okay, so what makes it achievable?
That I can intentionally save this money.
Intentional. I like it. I have the ability to save money on a regular basis toward this goal. I think that's great. I think you have the skills and the resources. Well, you still need the resource of the attorney. So I think that should really be under the achievable is resource attorney. So I think that finding out how much it costs and getting the attorney both will go, hand in hand. And that should be like your initial, like your very first goal. And then relevant kind of goes with, what we talked about, like what's your why? How does this goal align with your broader goals? And why is the result important?
Well, I feel that this is going to assist me in the long run.
Okay, long run. That's a really fluid word. Long run in what respect? It's going to help me what?
It's going to help me, find a place when it's time to um, find housing
Right.
on my own, because that is really a trouble spot for me with my credit
Okay.
report.
Sure. There you go. Right there. It's going to help me rebuild my credit to get my own apartment, or, whatever wording. But now, when it's relevant too, how does it fit into other goals? Like the nursing school, the job, having that fresh start is, they don't pull your credit report, to go to college, but what if you need to get loans?
Right. And I don't want to have old loans hanging over my head in order to go to school.
Right. So to clear a financial pathway to college. Blue skies, baby. I know that's, in a sense, not measurable, but we have to build ourselves up. And then the last one is time frame. And we already talked about that one, 6 months. And, set yourself, and we're not going to do that now because we are running out of time, but set yourself some mini goals for this one goal, because you don't want it to be too daunting. And then also, I feel that in general, I watched my son with this when, I asked him to clean the house, or whatever, not the house, but you know what I mean. And he'll text me like almost time for me to finish work. He'll be like, "Oh, when are you going to be home?" And then he's rushing around like a maniac, because he's like, "Oh no, she's going to be home in half an hour and I didn't do anything." So it's kind of the same premise, "Oh no, it's May and I didn't do anything toward this goal." And this is called Mental Health Mondays, because this all is relative. Every time you reach one of those mini goals toward the big goal is going to build your self-esteem as far as that goal goes.
Yes.
So setting that goal for talking to the attorney and getting the price, like writing that down, which you already did. And then when you do it, you get to check it off. You get to check that bad boy off, and I do to-do lists. I like to write things down. I know some people are, more digital or what have you. I mean, I keep my calendar both on paper and digital, but I like paper right in front of me. I just like everything about that. And for me, just writing that or crossing it out when I'm done with it, I feel so accomplished. I feel so accomplished. So now I know, we are literally out of time, but if you have a minute or so left, how do you feel about just going over? How do you feel about the goal that we talked about as you were writing it versus how do you feel about that goal now?
It feels less daunting now.
Okay, good. I'm glad. And before we end, I wanted to just remind people that a binder is a really good idea because there's room for expansion, but not just that. Journaling is very important. And also you can have your own like little vision boards in between there. Like if you're an artist, you can draw things, or you want to be a nurse. So, put together like on one page, there's like stethoscopes, or AI is great. You can put yourself in a nurse uniform and put yourself in your binder. And it reminds me of the old days where you hide your diary, because this is for you and for you only. And journaling is really important. Like, write down, I called the attorney today and I got the price, and I'm so glad that I did this. I'm a little scared about, the cost, but I'm so glad that I got this done. And now I'm on to the next step. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Yes. Now I have one last thing to share, but before I do, is there anything you would like to say to kind of wrap up our little session besides hope let's get together and do this more in depth? Absolutely, we can. But anything else, anything you'd like to add to end?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I am honored that you thought of me for this. It has been a pleasure to see you.
You as well. And now it has to be in person. And I just want to end with in 2026, one of my goals with Mental Health Mondays with Hope is to have one guest each month, because we're every Monday, that will be relevant to the major areas of the 6 major areas of goal setting that we've discussed. So that way that way other people that want to join us on their own journey, but be there for each other, we'll have that opportunity every month, and one of those is going to be journaling, and maybe we'll have somebody financial. And so that is part of my goal. And how I can measure that is by the efficacy will be measured by your response as the people participating, as to whether or not it was helpful. Does that make sense? So I didn't write that full goal out yet, but I will, and I will share it with everyone. And I want to say thank you. Like I said, when I came up with this idea, I've been following your journey, and I'm so proud of you. And I would love to continue on this journey with you. I know I'm so bad at doing that. So there we go. Oh, you do it great. And just for you and for everybody else, remember that goals change because we change. Sometimes our ideas, my son helped my surgeon remove my staples from my back surgery, and he wanted to be a surgeon until he watched a medical show where somebody was vomiting blood. His goal changed. Don't quit a SMART goal if it's hard. Okay. Because if it's a SMART goal, it shouldn't, you're breaking it down. So it shouldn't be hard. And remember that nothing worth accomplishing, nothing worth having has ever been easy. So I know that you got this. You got this, girl. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you for joining us, and everyone who's watching. Thank you for joining Mental Health Mondays with Hope. And next Monday, because we're going to talk to somebody that's going to help us stay on track with our goals. So thank you so much. Happy holidays, everyone. And we'll see you next week.